Hey everybody, welcome to Careers People Growth, your channel to learn about real careers, real people, and real growth. And I've got my friend Jason Burke, the founder of the new Primal, which if you like meat and you like snacks, he's put it all together. So we're here to find out a little bit more about Jason and his career. So nice. Thank you for being here, Jason. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. Excited to talk.
Yeah, tell us. So tell me, what do you do for a living, Jason?
I do a lot of things. I get the privilege of calling myself the founder, and today I hold the seat of the CEO at the new Primal, where we make better for you meat snacks that taste good. It's one thing to call something better for you and healthy or clean, and it's another thing to make that product also taste good. But the role that I play today, and I wear a lot of hats still, given the company is small and I would call scrappy, but I sit at the helm, so I get to cast the vision and manage a team of really incredible leaders at the executive level who really keep the engine going inside of this business.
Yeah.
So my hands are in all of it.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the products that you guys make, just so that way people know what is the real Primal and what are the amazing snacks they can get.
Yeah. Look, I mean, if you've ever been on a road trip, you've ever eaten a Slim Jim, I think that's the iconic sort of like meat stick or meat snack that a lot of people would know. We basically took the gas station out of that product. So, we recreated that with better quality sources of meat, with clean ingredients, with things you can pronounce, with a simple spice mixture, without the allergens, without the junk. And so, we use proteins, sort of across the spectrum in terms of beef or turkey or chicken, and don't stick to just one. So there's lots of, flavor options and so forth. But we make that product and then we sell it to places where you would shop, whether that be your local grocery store, your local club, or online.
Wonderful. Now, before that, what was your profession?
So I was in sales. First of all, I think I was born an entrepreneur, but I had a lawn business in high school that I took into college with me, and I wanted to go to business school. My family was all really blue collar, and I didn't want to be blue collar, but I made good money cutting grass in high school, and then it turned into a real business in college. And so what was really interesting is I was able to sort of like pair up my accounting class with my business accounting I was doing for my business. And so I feel like I got a really good handle on general business by doing all of that. When I graduated from school, I went into the financial services industry and I was selling financial products, mortgages and insurance products and mutual funds. And I got my licenses across all of that. I did that for a few years. It was fine. I was good at it, but didn't love it, and I was like, I'm young. Let's figure out what I want to be. I was living in Florida. I wanted to move. And so I moved to the beautiful city of Charleston, South Carolina. And I took a software sales job really just to move. It was like I wanted to change my career path, but I was good at sales. And so I just transferred my financial sales business into software sales just to move. And so I took this new job selling software. And then I figured out what I wanted to be when I grew up once I moved and sort of settled into that job. Realized that like the traditional corporate path wasn't necessarily built for me. I think it's built for lots of people, but it wasn't built for me. But really, both my parents got sick. Both were diagnosed with chronic illnesses directly related to diet and nutrition. And so I took a real keen interest in food and its impact on our health. And so, I learned how to cook, and I was making my own food and my own snacks. And it just so happened to be that my homemade beef jerky was the one like snack that always disappeared from my desk that all my friends stole from me. And I started making them pay me. And so
that's when the company was founded, right there.
That's right. It basically happened right there, in my software sales career.
I love it. It's amazing how, problems create solutions and solutions create products. And here we are today. So today as a company, how many employees are you?
15
employees. And what kind of employees from what kind of positions do you have in the business?
Yeah. So one of the things that is unique to our industry is that many brands don't own their manufacturing. So we don't either. We contract our manufacturing processes out to a third party. So that eliminates us carrying all of the like manufacturing aspect of what we do. But we do have an operations team, an internal operations team that manages all of that. So we have a supply chain manager, we have a logistics manager, we have a head of operations that sort of oversees all of those things, from the manufacturing to the sourcing to the supply to making sure the stuff is moved around and gets to the right places. And so, those roles are critical, but we don't manage the day-to-day manufacturing side of the business. But we do have that operations team in place. And then same thing happens kind of on the sales side. We do have full-time internal sales managers that manage territories or manage certain accounts. And, they're very much hands-on into the relationship management side of what we do when we sell to our retail partners. But we then have a network of brokers that our internal salespeople manage. So, there are, call it, hundreds of broker representatives throughout the country that we don't directly employ, but we employ our internal sales managers who do. And then we do have a traditional marketing team in-house, which, we have a head of marketing who then has a team of people that they've built out that deal with our partnerships and our online marketing, our digital marketing, our in-store marketing. And so we sort of manage all of that in-house. But then again, we have agency partnerships as well that sort of help with some of the, whether that be creative or whether that be the paid media side of what we do. So in-house marketing is there. And then we manage a team of external resources. And then finally, I have we wouldn't be what we are without an in-house CFO. And so, we've got a CFO that I work very closely with. We spend time together every single day, ensuring that, we're building a durable company with a strong P&L profile that, has the ability to last in a tough market. And so, at the leadership level, I've got people sort of across all of those main functions: financial, operations, marketing, and sales. And then they all have teams of people that support them in their efforts, but we're able to keep it lean because we have a pretty big network of external resources and people and teams that we work with and manage and that help execute on what we're trying to do.
Sure. No, I love it. And I imagine also you probably have a marketing department too, no? Branding, marketing. Yeah. Awesome. No, that's fantastic. So then what kind of people do you like to bring in culture-wise? What kind of culture you're trying to build? What kind of, you gave me, all right, these are the positions we have, but great. I want to understand the culture you're building at the new Primal.
Yeah, I think it starts with my personality. And so when you're small like we are and you're growing fast, I think a lot of the culture begins to mirror the founder or the founder's personalities in some way. And for me, it's very much not a micromanaged environment. So I want to be really clear. The one thing I hated the most about corporate America personally was I wanted someone to tell me what to do, and then I wanted to get them to get out of my way, and I wanted to go do it. I wanted to be empowered to go do my job without being questioned or someone sort of looking over my shoulder the entire time. That is, so the environment in our business, I think all of our people would say that they don't feel micromanaged, that they have the ability to work freely and do their work, and they can do that work on their own schedule. They can do that work when they need, sort of like whenever they need to. And so I think that's one where we just have a lot of trust in each other. And we have to. Just the nature of the business, we have to. The other one is, I think we have a scrappy mentality in general. It's sort of like, hey, no one says that's not my job. If something needs to be done, I think it's like jump in and do it. And then, with that scrappiness comes resourcefulness. You have to learn when you have a limited amount of resources, you have to figure out ways to achieve without tons of resources. And so I think people are really resourceful internally here. And then finally, I mentioned this a little bit in the autonomy or in the freedom piece, but I really think people need that, at least in our business, people need that level of freedom to just sort of function when it works and how it works best for them. And so we have a 4-day work week. And so we put an extraordinary amount of trust in our people to get everything done in four work days. And then everyone takes Friday
4 days. Get it done. You get to earn that 5th day off.
Yeah. So I think, you get this sort of like
that's unique. You don't hear that every day.
No, you get this work ethic that's built into that. You get this scrappiness, this tenacity of being sort of like the small guy. You get this freedom and flexibility, but it's a culture of autonomy. We expect grown-ups to be grown-up.
Good. No, I like that. And in future within the next year of the new Primal, is the team growing? Or are you guys looking, what would be, even whether it's the next year or whether it's the next step, when the business grows to that next level, what kind of people would you be looking to bring in next?
Yeah, look, I think if the company continues to grow at the pace that we're growing and we continue to hit our targets, the teams are always going to need additional teammates and support. So I think that works across every function in the company. We will need additional sales reps. We will need additional help on the brand and marketing side. That team has work to do, like with a brand manager and some additional marketing resources internally. And then over on the operations side, we'll need additional people to help on the supply chain and on the procurement side. So it's a little bit of everything. And our financial team is going to need additional support too. So that team is small and carry a lot of weight. So, I think it's across every function. I would say that we are low to higher in general. And I think it's one of those things where the CPG industry is very expensive to operate in. And so we just want to make sure that each time we bring on someone new, we've got the resources in place to support them and give them to be able to go do their job effectively. So, this isn't we're going to go hire 10 people in the next 12 months. This is probably, we're going to hire 2 to 3 in the next 12 months, and then 2 to 3 in the next 12 months after that. So it's probably a little bit more of
a one, who knows? But of course.
It's a bit more of a measured approach, I think, on that side. As long as, because our growth is also reflective of that. We're not one of these like, we're going to go 200% this year. This is a very much like, we're going to steadily grow 40 or 50% a year, and we're just going to continue to take those stair steps. Speed sometimes kills, and I've been doing this long enough to know that we want to take a really measured approach in building a durable brand.
No, I appreciate that. And to close it all out, if you were to give one piece of career advice, what would it be?
Man, this one's tough for me because
you'll speak from the heart, no limits, nothing's holding you back.
I think you should. Can I give you two? Can I give you one piece of advice and then one tactical thing?
Absolutely, whatever you want.
Yeah. So I think like being aligned with a company's values, I think, is more important than ever. And so I would just say, like, don't go take a job. Go work somewhere where your values are aligned with the business, or go start something where your values are aligned with the business, whichever that might be. But don't just go take a job to do a function somewhere that you really don't believe in what they're doing. I think you're going to that's not a fun place to be. You can do that for a short period of time, but I don't think that that's last. So that would be number one. But number two, I've got an interview tactic that I think is the best. Everybody's very uncomfortable, I think, selling. I think most people are uncomfortable selling. I think most people are uncomfortable selling themselves. And so I've got an interview tactic that worked for me in every job I ever had. Every person I've given this advice to, it has helped them in their job search. And so what I would say is to the extent you're interviewing with a company they like you, it looks like there might be a great opportunity to work together. My best advice is you close the interview. And what I mean by that is you end that final conversation with, based on this conversation we've had today, is there any reason you wouldn't hire me? And you can phrase it however that works for you, but that's basically the because
don't just walk away. Literally,
don't just walk away and be like, okay, cool.
We just talked. Am I in or am I out? What's going on?
Cool. I guess I'll hear from you sometime. I think it's like, hey, look, we've had a great conversation. Seems like we like each other. Seems like we're aligned. Seems like, there could be a great opportunity, but is there anything missing? Is there any reason why we wouldn't move forward with this? And it could be, they might just say, hey, you know what? We've got 10 other candidates we're interviewing. So there might be someone more qualified. They might say, I'm actually a little more concerned about this career gap here. But the point is they'll give you a chance to address a concern there versus or they might close themselves and say, no, we really like you. We're just going to go prepare the offer. So you can walk out of that with a little more certainty. I can't tell you how many people I've given that advice to that have done that, and they've been able to either overcome the objection or realize oh man, that didn't go as well as I thought it did because they really didn't like me. I thought it went well, but they were like, so no matter what, you just leave with a little more clarity. And it shows that you're not afraid to close. And I think I don't care what job you're in, if you're the CFO, if you're the head of sales, or you're the head of marketing, you're selling something. You're selling your work, you're selling yourself. It shows that you have the ability to close. So anyway, that's my tactic.
I love it. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. Guys, if you like content just like this and learning about careers just like Jason's, please like and follow the channel. Really appreciate you being here, Jason.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks for watching our content. Listen, if you're running a business and you're struggling to find staff, I want to introduce myself. My name is Saab. I own CPG Recruitment, and I help companies across North America find the people that they need to find. Listen, a great business cannot be built unless you've got great people. You and I both understand that having the right people on your team is so important, and that's where I could come in and help you. So listen, I want you to shoot me a text message. Here's my direct cell phone. Have my number. Reach out to me. I'd love to hear your story and get to know what you're trying to accomplish, and that way maybe I can help you fix this problem.